Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the impact of secular and Christian music on youth. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the impact that Christian music and secular music is having on youth, and especially African American youth, Pastor KWalker, who will give us some information in reference to Mr. Larry Polo as well as Reginald Williams. And let me welcome all three of you to the show this morning. But Pastor Walker, since you know these individuals more than I think that any of us know them, let's have you to sort of give us some statements in reference to who they are, and then we'll be able to talk to them in reference to that.
Okay. Well, Dr. Haney, first of all, thanks again for allowing us the opportunity to be on your show. Your show is all a very informative show, and it reaches a broad audience, and we're just thankful to be here. With me today is Mr. Larry Polo Rayford and Mr. Reginald Ballhead Williams, and they that's the names now.
That sort of summarizes them up. Oh, very good.
And we got some very important subject matter to talk about today, Dr. Haney, concerning the impact of secular rap and Christian rap music on our youth today. And these are gospel Christian rappers and stuff, and they can tell you more about themselves than I can, and I'll just kind of yield to them at this point.
Okay, Mr. Larry Polo, why don't you give us some information about your background, education, experiences, and after which Mr. Reginald Williams will do the same.
Yes, sir. I was born in Ben Harbor, Michigan, raised in Chicago, Illinois. Also, let me see, I was in the streets most of my life, pretty much all of my life. Gang banged. I was gang banging for 20 years of my life, part of one of the biggest organizations that ever was in Chicago as well. And I also did secular music as well. Educational wise, I dropped out of school my 10th grade year, and then I just went back to get my GED last year, and now I'm in college at American Baptist College. So I'm what you call an ex-gangster to now one of God's disciples.
Very good. Mr. Williams?
I'm from Nashville, and I was incarcerated at 19 and dropped out of high school in my 10th grade year as well, and went to prison and found God, and God showed me how to get my life together. So I went to school there, graduated some various classes, various schools, and got my barber's license, and so that's what I do now for money, and just gave God my life, man, and He's dealing with us. You know.
And so, Pastor Walker, we believe that gospel music and rap music and secular music, all of this work together. But why don't you give us some idea in terms of what they represent in terms of the music industry?
Well, when you look at music itself, you know, I'm a 59-year-old black man, and when I was coming up, you know, our music, it was James Brown, the OJs, and they had some influences, and a lot of the music during the 60s and the early 70s and things like that, they were very motivational, inspiring lyrics in the music, and then and it had an impact on our lives, you know, and then in this particular area, when you talk about rap music and when you talk about secular rap music, there's a portion of that rap music, secular rap music, that's very degrading, and it sends a message and a signal. And number one, it's a false signal, because you look at people like Jay-Z and you look at people like 50 Cent and stuff like that, and if you went to their house, you know, you probably had to go through 7 or 8 layers of security just to get into the gate, you know.
Right.
But then they're projecting an image as if they're out here gangster, gang banging, and living the kind of lifestyle that you formerly lived in the past.
Right.
And it's sending a bad signal, and our youth are grabbing a hold to that. So I think what God is doing in this particular dispensation of time, He has created gospel rap, so that our youth can be reached with the gospel through rap, you know. And these guys are the example and of the epitome of that particular genre of music, because they're reaching a lot of people.
Very good. Mr. Polo, let's,
Yes,
over the last minute we have in this segment, let's start off by, what do you think about secular music and rap music? Give us a sort of a summary of that, and then we'll be able to start with Mr. Williams when we come back.
Summarizing it all is that now I really do say that is the music defines demonic spiritual movement, more so than anything now, because it's more of, it influences our children to do things that they don't have no business doing. And I know because, like I said, in my life, in gang banging and things that I used to do, that's what we used to get a rush off of, was that secular music. And that rushed us to even do more dirt, as we call it, or do more crimes and the ignorant stuff that we were doing. So, you know, so I do understand that.
And so we're getting ready for our first commercial break, and when we come back, we'll start with you, Mr. Williams, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.